Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
I actually left Hawaii pretty abruptly a couple weeks later, January 15th. And then on February 12th, we announced. Then on March 7th, we had our first case of COVID. And by the end of the month, it was lockdown, right? It's crazy back then. But I made that decision, and then it began. And then it was a matter of, I think back about it, I mean, I feel like I said at the outset today, like all roads led to this, because, I mean, look, right away, as soon as we announced it was that opposition, this guy's too old, what does he know? Yeah, he did some editorials on TV, but, that kind of thing. I had some visibility around town, knew a lot of people. I mean, if you looked at Mayor Caldwell, he'd been managing director, city council, everybody had all these histories, if you will, of pedigree, if you will, in city government, and here I was coming at it. The only thing I had going for me at the time was Amamiya had none of that, but before you know it, Kimberly Pine was in the race, Mufi was in the race, Colleen was in the race. So now you've got a former, congresswoman, you've got a former mayor, you've got a city council person who thinks she's, So as it turns out, we get through the primary, and my life from March through August was never in these series of Zoom calls. I was doing 5 and 6 a day, no less than 5, every now and then 6, depending. People were locked down, so and so some of these were being set up. Sometimes there's only a couple of televised debates. I don't know how many. I bet it was over 20 or more with the other candidates, and my competitive juices started going. I mean, I started getting up for this thing. I mean, from the standpoint of listening to what they were saying and thinking, shit, I mean, I may not know what they know. It was really clear to me. I got in touch pretty quickly with what I didn't know, but I'm bringing some other stuff to the party here, So it got very competitive because, it wasn't really debating. People were watching us and were being challenged, and when we had all of us on, they were put on by the hotels and unions and stuff like that. You get into it. So we won in the primary. We won big, and it was just me and Amamiya. And we won by 20,000 votes, I think, in the primary. It was in the general election, we beat him by 20 points. And so once it became me and him, I felt confident we were going to win. Because I won in the primary. I was number one guy. And so we did that. We won in the general election 60-40, and that, to me, at that time, was a bit of a referendum. Like, we're going to bet on you. We're still in COVID, and candidly, we didn't inherit a good situation. And the first order of business was to put together a cabinet in the middle of, think about where we were the first week of November 2020. We've been locked down since March. There wasn't any talk of vaccines even coming on board. We didn't know where we were going. Now I had to put together a cabinet. Unlike I knew my way around television stations on hiring a news director or a sales manager, and even then it was never a perfect science. Now suddenly I'm going to hire for positions that I remember looking up, and I had to say, okay, we need one of these and one of that. For titles and jobs, we didn't focus on coming in. So, everything was really, really new to me.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.